remember. Last one. Here. Can you recite without my help? Cannot. At the beginning, it's difficult, isn't it? Cannot catch. As you get used to Pali and Sanskrit pronunciation, there were 6 popular languages at that time. Today there are nearly 200 in India, spoken language. But in northern India there were 6. Magadhi, Sauraseni, Apabhransa, Sanskrit, Paisachi. But all those languages completely disappeared. Remains 3. Pali, Sanskrit and Ardha Magadhi. The language spoken by Jaina Mahavira, the founder of another religion, close to Pali language. And this Pali that we are using today is no more in India, because at the beginning this language was known as Magadhi, not Pali. Magadha province. The Buddha spent most of his time in Magadha province in northern India. So the language spoken by those people in that area. So that language was known as Magadhi. Later, 500 years after the Buddha, when the disciples held the Buddhist council from time to time, they have repeated and repeated and repeated and rearranged all the discourses according to subject matters, and the short sermons and the long sermon sutras, they divided into different sections. After this arrangement, they used the word Pali. Earlier there was no such language called Pali language. Pali means line, line by line. Systematically arrange the teachings of the Buddha. Then they use the word Pali. Sanskrit also like this. That language existed for a few thousand years in India, but there was no Sanskrit language. At that time it was known as Vaidika or Veda, no Sanskrit. When this Panini, the grammarians, appeared and rearranged the language grammatically, they used the word Sanskrit. Sanskrit means rearrange. Sanskrit means done. Sanskrit. The languages are like this. So Sanskrit still exists, used by Brahmins. Now, I studied in Sanskrit college in India, and Brahmins can speak, can converse to each other, but others, ordinary people cannot. They use Hindi. The language Hindi I picked up within 3 months. And then later used to give public talk also in Hindi language. That is about 45 years ago. Today what will happen, when I am going to talk in Hindi, mix up with all the other languages, the Malay and English and Sinhalese and Pali, very difficult. But I can read, I can write, because I had to study grammatically the Hindi language. Very easy to study. And Bengali, another language. South India, they have different languages, Tamil and Telugu and Karnataka and so many other languages, all in South India. So this language today we introduce as Pali. That is why some people say the Buddha did not speak Pali. They are right, because at that time this language was not known as Pali, but Magadhi, but the same language rearranged. Yes, number 10. Paridevaya manoche kinchidatthaṃ udabbahe sammulho hingsamattānaṃ kairācetaṃ vicakkhaṇo paridevaya manoche kinchidatthaṃ udabbahe sammulho hingsamattānaṃ kairācetaṃ vicakkhaṇo. If wailing will heal the mourner's shaft of sorrow, only then let the wise wail. It is so simple, very easy to understand. If they think simply by wailing and crying and worrying and lamenting they can get rid of their pains or worries or disturbances, then go ahead. So if they can understand simply by crying and worrying they cannot get rid of their disturbances, then don't cry. Very easy to understand. Next one. Nahi runnena sokena santing pappoti cetaso bhiyasu pajyate dukkhang sarirang cupahanyati nahi runnena sokena santing pappoti cetaso bhiyasu pajyate dukkhang sarirang cupahanyati. Peace of mind is not attained by wailing. It only brings grief and hurt to the body. We never experience peace or calmness or satisfaction in our life by wailing, but increase, develop physically and mentally. It only brings grief and hurt to the body. We disturb our body and our chest, our heart, our lungs, our stomach by crying and lamenting and worrying and disturbing. So we never gain anything. Then turn into metta, highest. Metta means selfless love. The love that we create, develop, without expecting anything in return. That is called metta. So, emotion turn either negative or positive. When it is positive, we laugh and we enjoy. Negative, we cry and we worry. But when we reduce or eradicate our craving and attachment, then emotion also disappears. So as long as we maintain this emotion, whatever knowledge, whatever understanding, whatever wisdom we have, it is difficult to control emotion. It is naturally like a current, difficult to control. But we can minimize or reduce by learning. Otherwise go on crying and crying and crying for days and months and years and waste so much of energy. So this knowledge supports us to control that emotion, but we cannot get rid of that emotion until we attain Arahanta or the sainthood. Then no more crying. Number 12. Kiso vivanno bhavati hinsa mattana mattana natena peta palenti niratta paridevana kiso vivanno bhavati hinsa mattana mattana natena peta palenti niratta paridevana. Mourning only makes the mourner emaciated and pale. It does not help the departed. Therefore, mourning is meaningless. Of course, we have something else as mourning. So you have mourning period, isn't it? That is to express, let others to know that during this period you do not enjoy your life. So they keep away from amusement and entertainment and dancing and singing and merrymaking by attending weddings and all sort of things. That is called mourning period. Others you know that your mind is not free, still very heavy. Still you have worry, sorrow, disturbances. Therefore give time. But you cannot, that is the time that we must enjoy more, to forget about worries. You cannot. Then people pass remarks, others. Because his wife died recently, that fellow enjoying. Father and mother died, and now they are enjoying. People pass remarks. The usual custom is when somebody who is very close to us, if that person dies, we should not enjoy worldly way. Concentrate more on life and death and do some more religious or meritorious deeds during that period. That is the meaning of mourning period. But here different meaning. Here mourning means worrying and crying, same meaning. Mournings only made the mourners emaciated and pale, tiredness and exhausted, and the face also become very pale. Then it does not help the departed. Yes, I understand there are some people, before their death, they ask their family members to cry when they die. They may have some sort of belief that if they do not cry, something may happen to them. In Sri Lanka, there is another custom. If there is nobody to cry in that house for that departed person, they hire some people. There are people, ready-made people. Their job is to visit certain houses and cry. And they are paid. Because they believe that crying is important. I think the psychological feeling is this. If there is nobody to cry in that house, sometimes evil spirit may come and disturb. Because of this cry, they may run away. That may be the reason. There is no meaning at all from the Buddhist point of view, but there are some people who believe we must cry only for that. Some others, I understand, some children came and told us, their mother, their father told them that when they die, you must cry. So, although we don't like, we had to cry. This is our feeling. I understand Islam does not encourage or allow people to cry when somebody dies in their family. They should not shed tears. That is their some sort of religious belief, not to cry, not to shed tears. They worry, but they don't shed tears. But difficult to control. When the Buddha passed away, so many people assembled to pay respect, and some people were crying. And many ladies who were assembled, very close to the Buddha's body, and started to cry. And the tears dropped the body of the Buddha, ladies' tears. So during the first Buddhist council, 3 months after the Buddha's passing away, Venerable Ananda, who was close to the Buddha, was accused by all the other monks for allowing ladies to come so close to the Buddha's body and shed tears. So Ananda had to swallow it. He was accused for many things. Second, complaint for requesting the Buddha for ladies to become nuns. Is Ananda's effort. The Buddha rejected 3 times. stepmother, Mahapajapati Gautami, she said, your mother died when you were 7 days old. I am the one who looked after you, Buddha. And now you refused. Monks or nuns' way of life at that time. No proper houses, no proper place to sleep. So not suitable for lady. That is why he was reluctant. So at the beginning, most of those who came and joined belonged to royal family. The Buddha's stepmother, his former wife, and other relatives. Then others also followed. But they could not maintain or carry on for a long period. After 500 years, completely disappeared. No more nuns. Because of the difficulties. That is why the Buddha was reluctant to give this. Then introduced to Sri Lanka. They maintained for a few hundred years. During that period, Chinese came and they were ordained in Sri Lanka as nuns. Gone back to China and introduced this nunnery system. Are still maintained in China and Taiwan. But they have completely changed their way of life. It is not the same Indian customs or Indian way of life. Because they have organized a religious way of life and their daily routines and dress and the time that they take food completely change. Otherwise they cannot carry on. In Taiwan, in certain monasteries, there are more nuns than monks. Few hundreds in certain monasteries. But Burma, Thailand, Sri Lanka, they are not nuns. Only upasika, observe 8 precepts. Completely dropped. Could not maintain. Because of that hard life. At that time, monks and nuns' way of life is entirely different, not like today. Today, they have very comfortable life. Nice building, nice room, air-conditioned room, and nice food, and nice clothing, and everything. But those days, under the trees and the jungles, and what you call open areas, and mud hut or atap house, this kind of places. So the difficulties were no proper food. They had to go out long distance to find out little bit of food. So the way of life is completely changed. So it does not help the departed. So what I wanted to tell you just now, some people believe that crying is very important. Otherwise there will be some sort of influence of evil spirit. But no meaning at all. This is only imagination. But in reality, what the Buddha is trying to tell us, by crying you cannot support, you cannot help, you cannot assist. You are departed. They never gain anything. If you really want to help them, then do some meritorious deed, do some religious services, help others, radiate your compassion and kindness and transfer the merits to them instead of crying. This is the Buddhist attitude. Therefore mourning is meaningless. Not that type of mourning by wearing a piece of dark, either dark dress or piece of cloth. That is for others to know. that somebody died in their family, then they do not come and disturb them or invite them to attend all sort of parties and what you call amusement. That is the idea. Otherwise people do not know. In India there is some other, there are various practices. When father dies, elder son shave his head. If not, cut the mustache, this one. Cannot keep if father dies. And this is their custom. Then people know that his father died. Again, married ladies, young ladies, always apply red color here. Then people know that this lady is married. If this red color is not there, not married. To understand. Very meaningful customs. Next one, number 13. Sokamapajahang jantung Bhiyo dukkhang nigacchati Anuthunanto kalakatang Sokasya vasamanagu Sokamapajahang jantung Bhiyo dukkhang nigacchati Anuthunanto kalakatang Sokasya vasamanagu. There is one word here in number 12, third line. Natena peta palenti. Peta, this word. In Pali we say peta, in Sanskrit we say preta. Preta means, the real meaning is departed one. But there is another meaning of this word. Those who are born in the spirit form after their death, also known as Peta. Two meanings. Now when we take this English word, fetus, that word derived from Preta, Sanskrit word, fetus. The life originated in the mother's womb. That means a departed person. Nucleus of another life is originated. That is called Peta or fetus. Same Sanskrit word in English. There are hundreds of Pali Sanskrit words in the English language. Peta and Preta in Sanskrit, fetus in English. By not forsaking sorrow, he proceeds to greater pain. He only goes deeper into the realms of sorrow. There is nothing very much to explain. Those who continue their worries and sorrows and crying and lamenting without stopping, they invite more trouble, more headache, more problems, more disturbances, but never gain anything. And never, departed ones also never gain anything. Therefore try to reduce. If you want to cry, cry once or twice enough. and stop. Number 14. Anyepi passa gamino yatha kammupage nare maccuno asamagamma pandante vidapanino anyepi passa gamino yatha kammupage nare maccuno asamagamma pandante vidapanino. Observe how others born into this world, according to their karma, must tremble under the spectre of death. See how others come into this world, how they appear, according to their own karma, not sent by another person, not brought by another person. They appear, they come into existence according to their own karma. Then we can see the discriminations, differences. Even in one family, amongst their brothers and sisters, children and parents, how many differences are there? Some are very fortunate, some are unfortunate. Some are intelligent, others are not intelligent. Some are very lucky, but others no. Then what is the cause of these differences? That is why here the Buddha said they come to this world according to their own karma. Some as humans, some others as animals or different kinds of living beings, and some invisible petas or a spirit or ghost, or some as devas and Brahma. So the degrees of their own karma either increase or decrease or reduce. So karma is behind us. Karma is responsible. Among all the other factors, karma is solely responsible for our fortunate or unfortunate, happy or unhappy life. Altogether, there are 5 factors. When all these 5 factors combine together, the life comes into existence. Karma alone cannot produce a life. Mind alone cannot produce a life. Matters or elements cannot produce a life. There are 5 things. When these 5 combine together, then the life comes into existence. What are those 5? First thing is mental energy, chitta. If there is no mental energy, completely change. So, it does not help the departed. So, what I wanted to tell you just now, some people believe that crying is very important. Otherwise there will be some sort of influence of evil spirit. But no meaning at all. This is only imagination. But in reality, what the Buddha is trying to tell us, by crying you cannot support, you cannot help, you cannot assist. You are departed. They never gain anything. If you really want to help them, then do some meritorious deed, do some religious services, help others, radiate pure compassion and kindness, and transfer the merit to them instead of crying. This is the Buddhist attitude. Therefore, mourning is meaningless. Not that type of mourning by wearing a piece of either dark dress or piece of cloth. That is for others to know that somebody died in their family. Then they do not come and disturb them or invite them to attend all sort of parties and what you call amusement. That is the idea. Otherwise people do not know. In India there is some other, there are various practices. When father dies, elder son shave his head. If not, cut the mustache, this one. Cannot keep if father dies. And this is their custom. Then people know that his father died. Again, married ladies, young ladies, always apply red color here. Then people know that this lady is married. If this red color is not there, not married. To understand. Very meaningful customs. Next one, number 13. Soka mappajahang jantung bhiyo dukkhang nigacchati anuthunanto kalakatang sokassa vasamannagu soka mappajahang jantung bhiyo dukkhang nigacchati anuthunanto kalakatang sokassa vasamannagu. There is one word here in number 12, third line. Natena peta palenti. Peta, this word. In Pali we say peta, in Sanskrit we say preta. Preta means, the real meaning is departed one. But there is another meaning of this word. Those who are born in the spirit form after their death, also known as Peta. Two meanings. Now when we take this English word fetus. That word derived from prete, Sanskrit word, fetus. The life originated in the mother's womb. That means a departed person's nucleus of another life is originated. That is called peta or fetus. Same Sanskrit word in English. There are hundreds of Pali Sanskrit words in the English language. Peta and preta in Sanskrit, fetus in English. By not forsaking sorrow, he proceeds to greater pain. He only goes deeper into the realms of sorrow. There is nothing very much to explain. Those who continue their worries and sorrow and crying and lamenting without stopping, they invite more trouble, more headache, more problems, more disturbances, but never gain anything. And never departed ones also never gain anything. Therefore try to reduce. If you want to cry, cry once or twice enough. And stop. Number 14. Anyepi passa gamino yatha kammupage nare maccuno vasamagam pandante vidapanino anyepi passa gamino yatha kammupage nare maccuno vasamagam pandante vidapanino. Observe how others born into this world, according to their karma, must tremble under the spectre of death. See how others come into this world, how they appear, according to their own karma, not sent by another person, not brought by another person. They appear, they come into existence according to their own karma. Then we can see the discriminations, differences. Even in one family, amongst their brothers and sisters, children and parents, how many differences are there? Some are very fortunate, some are unfortunate, some are intelligent, others are not intelligent, some are very lucky, but others no. Then what is the cause of these differences? That is why here the Buddha said they come to this world according to their own karma. Some as humans, some others as animals or different kinds of living beings, and some invisible petas or a spirit or ghost or some as Devas and Brahmas. So the degrees of their own karma either increase or decrease or reduce. So karma is behind us. Karma is responsible. Among all the other factors, karma is solely responsible for our shape, the color, beauty or ugliness. So many things. Then we say nature. Nature creates. Now let us take flowers. Let us take certain birds, color of certain birds. And the color of the skin of even a snake. Wonderful design. Of course, simple answer is God create all these things. But many people cannot satisfy with this answer. When we cannot understand how these things take place, then we say God created it. Later, when scientists discovered many things, then they forget about God, then explain how these things take place. Still there are many more unknown things for us. So we create our own imagination. If not, we think of God. He created, that's all. But that is not the answer. So later, this Dhamma, this Dhammata, they develop into a figure, into a person. That is how the concept of God come into existence. God create all these things. God means that natural phenomena. We cannot see God. But people say, don't worry. Although you cannot see God, God can see you. That is a beautiful answer. There, God means this natural phenomena. Yes, we cannot see them. But in us, in everything, you can see this Dhammata, this nature, this natural phenomena. Changes take place because of this natural phenomena. Development take place because of this natural phenomena. Decaying and decline things because of this natural phenomena. Dissolution, disintegration, separation take place because of this natural phenomena, not by a person. To understand this, we have to think deeply. Then one day we realized why things are like this. So just now I mentioned 5 things. First thing, what is the first one? Mental energy. Second one, karmic energy created by the same mind. Third one, germinal order. Fourth one, season or time factor or period. Last one, natural phenomena. Dhammata. The religious word is Dhammata, the nature. Dhamma means truth. Dhammata means the things take place naturally. So not done by a person, not handled by a person. This is the nature. So the differences, discriminations, beauty and ugliness All these things take place because of this. Karma is responsible for fortunate or unfortunate life. That is why we had to perform certain karmas to maintain, to carry on our life processes until we reach our final goal. Otherwise we get into trouble on the way. Shortage, shortcoming, food, clothing, shelters, peace, happiness. Some people experience, some people suffer. So when you see the world, why all these differences, discrimination, sufferings? The karma is behind, their own karma. It's not that somebody created them to suffer for nothing, their own karma. Here these sayings, their karma must tremble under the spectre of death. So everybody is shivering, fear of death. When they think of their death, they shiver because they don't like it. Scared of death. But no one can escape. Only thing that we can do, prolong, without allowing this death to take place, take away, we can prolong for a few years. By using our full effort and knowledge, that's all. But later we have to surrender. No other choice. Whether we like or not, we have to surrender. Therefore earlier it is better for us to know that. Then without worrying, without crying, without trembling, without shivering, we can surrender. That is Dhammata. Death is Dhammata, natural phenomenon. If birth takes place, there must be death. If there is no death, there is no birth. So simple. So birth and death are interrelated. Which number? Number 15, isn't it? Yes. Yena yena hi manyanti tato tang hoti anyata eta diso vinabhavo Passa lokassa pariyayam Yena yena hi manyanti tato tang hoti anyata Eta diso vinabhavo Passa lokassa pariyayam. In whichever manner people think of things, things turn out to be otherwise. Such is the opposite nature of things. Observe thus the nature of the world. This is very good sayings. For us to avoid disappointment, because always we create disappointment when things never take place according to our own wish, our desire. And the world is not in our favor. We must understand this. Worldly conditions are not in our favor. That is why we had to struggle for our survival. Life never runs smoothly. Just like swimming in the water against the current. It is difficult to swim against the current. Living in this world is just disturbances. We have to surrender. Say husband and wife fight. After fighting and quarreling and shouting and beating with each other, then sit down and talk. Okay, surrender, withdraw, come to an amicable settlement for a few days. After a few days again fight. This is the nature of worldly life. But you must know how to face this problem without aggravating the situation. Otherwise, problems are there. No one can avoid problems. So don't think that you cannot change the world. That you can change worldly situations or conditions in your favor. It never works. Now if you want to go out, when the sun is very hot, you cannot reduce the heat of the sun. Only thing that you can do is carry an umbrella. Then can reduce the heat. So there are similar things that we had to practice to reduce the disturbances that come from or through external sources. Heat create problem, wind create problem, rain create problems. Some people like, some people don't like. This is the nature of the world. If rain is very happy, some others cry, what happened to my this and everything. So the rain is not always in your favor. Sun is not in your favor. Wind is not in your favor. When you are having cough and cold, go outside, we don't like wind. But some others who are very hot, I like wind. The world is like this. So you must know how to adjust yourself to face certain things and to minimize certain things, to live in this world. But you cannot change the world. Number 16. Api cevassa sattang jive bhiyo apanamanavo jnati sangha vinahoti jahati idha jivitang api cevassa sattang jive bhiyo apanamanavo jnati sangha vinahoti jahati idha What is the meaning of Jeevitam? Life. Jeeva. Jeeva, Jeevita, life. Even if a man were to live 100 years or more, he must still yield his life, at last, bereft of friends and relatives. A man who can live the maximum lifespan according to certain period. This lifespan increase and reduce always. Now reducing. Today I think average maximum lifespan is about 65. Average. 45 or 65? 65. World Health Organization observation. But a few thousand years ago, more than 100 average lifespan. And when you go back few thousand and say 5,000 or 10,000, few hundred years. So this is the period that especially human beings physically and mentally dwindling, decline. It is difficult to stop this. That is also dhammata, that is nature. That is under worldly conditions. Mental attitude of human beings, when you observe very carefully what is happening in this world and compare with those who lived few hundred years ago, their mentality and the mentality of these people today. Today we can see more corruptions, more immoral, indecent attitude in human mind. Today human beings are more cunning and intelligent. But this intelligence they use with cunningness. The trouble starts from there. Foolish people do not create much trouble because they are not intelligent. They are not cunning. Intellectuals who are cunning are the most dangerous people. They are the ones who disturb the whole world. There is not a single country in this world, on this earth today, where people can live peacefully without fear. Whether they are Buddhists or Christians or Hindus or Muslims make no difference. All are human beings. Those religious labels cannot change man's mind. They are labels. All of them have cruelty, jealousy, anger, cruelty. All the evil forces are very active among the followers of all these religions. Therefore, we cannot say the superiority of any particular religion. All are human beings. All are going down and down and down and down. This will continue. According to the Chakravarti Sihanada Sutra of the Buddha, how he has predicted about the life and the world, how the worldly conditions or the worldly situation and the life goes up and down, ups and down. Now this is the period that is going down. It is impossible to turn the other way around, to go up. Whatever religion they practice or believe, whatever scientific discoveries they have done, it is impossible for them to stop. The more they discover new things in this world, the more they misuse and abuse for destructive purpose, because the minds are corrupted, wicked and cruel and greedy, selfish. When the minds are corrupted, then the physical body also affected. And now you can see new kind of sicknesses that we have never heard. The news that we get every day through televisions and newspapers, how this AIDS, this new sickness spreading within a short period. Now in Asia, they say there are more than 10 millions. We can see another 100 or 200 years time what will happen. I think the whole mankind may disappear from this earth. But man is responsible. When I say man, woman also. He is digging his own grave. His behavior, his mentality. So many immoral practices, dirty immoral practices. Read the newspaper. What is happening? What human beings are doing? Are they human beings? What are the qualities? Or what are the humane qualities? No more. There is a nice saying in Sanskrit language, Manushya Rupena Mriga Charanti. In the form of humans, animals are moving. They are not real humans, but look like humans, but they are animal. Mriga. Even animals also have certain natural character, behavior, nature. But we violate everything because of our intelligence. So this situation goes down and down and down. You can see another 100 years time what will happen. You can see the religion that introduced to build up, to cultivate human life, misuse and abuse for their own benefit by using religion. That is why they are fighting. Different religious group, they fight. They don't like another religion because they lose their business. So religion has become a business. So they develop jealousy, hatred. They don't like to see the progress of another religion because of this greed, selfishness. So, where are the humane qualities? Where is understanding? Where is a sense of reasoning to understand things properly? Nothing. So, this situation remains, and the maximum lifespan goes down to 10 years. Today 65. A 10 years old man or woman become grandmother or grandfather in time to come. At that time only very few human beings remains on this earth. All the others disappear because of their own mistakes, immoral, wicked and cruel, cunning, dangerous attitudes. And those who remain started to think, what happened to all those human beings? Why did they kill each other? Why did they die earlier? After thinking and thinking and thinking, some sort of realizations appear in their mind, maybe due to their mistake. So why not we try to develop our way of life, otherwise the same thing will happen to us also. Then this way of thinking becomes the turning point, turn towards other. Then go on cultivating and developing, then they can see the good result. Their mental attitude, their physical body, slowly growing and growing and growing, and the lifespan also start to increase and increase and increase. When this lifespan develop, increase up to maximum level for a long period, that is the time the next Buddha, the Maitreya Buddha, will appear in this world. According to the Buddha, this is his prediction. It goes down to the bottom, then again slowly come up, when come up to a certain period, a long period, lifespan. Then the Maitreya Buddha will appear. At that time human beings become very normal. They can understand things properly. Otherwise the Buddhas never appear. If people cannot understand what they preach, they never appear. No point. Number 17, today also cannot finish. Few more. 17. Tasma arhato sutva vineya paridevitang petang kala katang diswa naso labha maya iti tasma arhato sutva vineya paridevitang petang kala katang diswa naso labha maya iti. Therefore, listening to the wise and the holy and seeing a person departed, control your weeping. Reflect on the departure of your beloved ones by thinking that separation is natural. Tasma arahato sutta. Arahata means arahant, who has attained higher stage of sainthood. Because they are free from all these disturbances and worries and sufferings and problems. So, having seen them, their way of life, how happy they are, then we gain more confidence and understanding to follow their way of life. Again, wise people who can understand this situation, they also adjust their way of life to be good, to do good, to be noble, to become harmless and respectable. They are wise people, but not those clever, cunning people. They are not wise people. Then, those who have departed from our families, when I am alone, sometimes I go on meditating by thinking from my childhood up to this age. how many relatives, how many friends, how many monks, including our teachers, our parents, one by one, then what they have done, how they had to struggle for this and that, how they have created certain troubles and problems and difficulties, how they have created enmity and jealousy and anger, and what sort of trouble they have created, what kind of services they have done, one by one. This is a wonderful meditation that I do when I am alone. Is a realization appear. Those who were with me, studied together, worked together, played together, and our teachers who taught us, and our parents, our brothers, all those who have departed from this world, where are they? What happened to their struggle, their battle, their problem, difficulties that they had? All disappear with them. This is a wonderful meditation. People say, I don't meditate. My meditation is not like your meditation. 18. Yatha saranamadittang varina parinibbuto evam pidiro sappanyo pandito kusalo naro khippa muppatitang sokang vato thulang vadang saye yatha saranamadittang varina parinibbuto evam vidhiro sappanyo pandito kusalo naro khippa muppatitang sokang vato thuram vadang saye. Just as one would douse a burning house with water, even so let a steadfast and wise man remove grief as quickly as the wind of a handful of cotton. So that means without neglecting our duties and responsibilities that we have towards our own life. Just like when the house is burning, as early as possible, you must try to do something either by pouring water or something. Cannot neglect even few seconds. So according to the Buddha, this house is burning. We have 11 kinds of fire in our mind and in our body. That is why we are unrest. We have no rest, no peace, burning. 11 kind of fires. Ragocha, dosocha, mohocha, vyadhi, jaracha, maranam, picha, sokameva, parideva, dukkhang, picha, domanasang, payasa, ekadasa. Ekadasa means 11. 11 kinds of fire. We do not know. Our mind and body, every second, either by this or that. No time for me to explain. I think next Friday, remind me, I will explain 11 kind of fires at burning. That is why here in these sayings of the Buddha, you see, don't neglect. Don't think, never mind tomorrow, or if not, when we grow old, we can practice religion. Now we're still young. Better to enjoy life. When we grow old, we practice religion. By the time we kick the bucket, nobody. Don't wait. Let us finish, two more. Number 19. Paridevang pajapanca domanasanca attano attano sukhamesano abbahe salamattano paridevang pajapanca domanassanca attano attano sukhamesano abbahe salamattano. Now you can recite Pali stanzas very well. Used your mouth, get used to it. Let a person desirous of his own welfare pluck out the shaft of wail and grief he himself planted, created by him, not by anybody else. Let a person desirous, those who like to be happy, to be peaceful, to be prosperous, to maintain happiness and satisfaction in their life, try to take out the worries and what you call disturbances, grievances created by themselves, not by others. Take out, that means remove. Through this understanding, this knowledge. This knowledge is strong enough for you to withdraw many of those unnecessary, undue worries and fear, suspicion, imaginations that you maintain in your mind. This is the advantage of your knowledge. You are learning to think. After thinking, you understand. After listening, you cannot learn. Now when I talk, when I explain, you listen. After listening, you have to think. After thinking, you get the knowledge and understanding. Otherwise, wasting your time if you don't think. Last one, number 20. Abbulha sallo asito santing pappuya cetaso sabba sokang atikanto asoko hoti nibbuto abbulha sallo asito santing pappuya cetaso sabba sokang atikanto asoko nibbuto. Having plucked out this shaft and having attained mental peace, he becomes blessed and free from grief, overcoming all sorrows. That is it. Completely free from sorrows, worries, grievances, and imaginations and fear. Through this understanding, and by removing this fear and worry, mind becomes free, mind becomes strong. That mind can face anything without fear. Silo yatha eka ghano vatena nisamirati. Just like a rock, very solid rock, a wind cannot shake. Storms or wind cannot shake, cannot move. When the mind is strong, by removing these fear and worries and imagination, mind also becomes like the rock. Then worldly conditions, worldly changes cannot shake. Mind becomes unshakable, strong energy. Then we are in our final goal. We have reached the target. That is our aim. To develop our mind up to that level. After that, no more sufferings, no more worries, no more disturbances. Landed in a safety condition which is free from all worldly condition. No more worldly conditions there. No more changes there. Okay, next Friday, another sutra, Tirokutta Sutta. This one mostly about the departed persons, what will happen to them, where they are, what to do, and advice given by the sutta. Also important thing, because many people create only their imaginations. Men can understand what to do. But remind me to explain those 11 kind of fires, this coming Friday.